So I just screwed up like 3 minutes into the video. So I'm just gonna redo it. So, yeah, this guy creeping on me again, blah blah blah. I really hate him, blah blah blah. He asked me like 6 times, blah blah blah. I don't like him back, blah blah blah. Okay. Then we get to the person that I really like now, who was like my best friend and all this blah blah blah. Okay. So, a lot of people know that I like him. I'm surprised he doesn't know. I really want him to know, but then I don't want him to know because, like, if he doesn't like me back, it's gonna be like incredibly awkward. Because we have 2 classes together on A days, and on B days we have 1 class together, and we ride the same bus. So I see him in the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. Yeah. Oh, here's my chapstick. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. So, it's very... on the last video I said sexual, which it is kind of sexual, but it's not like we're humping each other sexual. It's just like touching sexual. But not like it has nothing to do with... Okay, whatever. You're just gonna listen to the story, and then you'll understand before anybody wants to call me a slut, because whatever. So, I get on the bus, and Natalie and Mikey are sitting next to each other. And I'm gonna really try not to say his name. Okay. So, I walk to the back of the bus, because I always sit there, you know, that's where the cool people sit, whatever. So, I get on the bus, and I walk to the very back, and then, like, he's sitting there, and I'm like, oh, how did he get on the bus before me? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm just standing there talking to somebody, and then he's like, sit on my lap. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm seriously gonna do it, because I thought he was kidding. So, I sat on his lap. Well, his leg. So, let me just demonstrate. Well, not demonstrate. Whatever. My room's very messy, I'm sorry. So, this is my leg. And, wow, this kind of looks like I'm naked. Okay, so I sit, his legs are like this, like, apart. So I sit right here, okay? And then, he moves me to the center of his... in between his legs. Okay, like that. Yes, that's how you explain it. And then, I was like, oh, I mean, okay. If you want me to sit like this, I will. Okay. So I just sit there like this for like 5 minutes. Then this guy gets on the bus, and he just like charges like a freaking bull. And then he tries to stab me with a red pen. So then the guy that I was sitting on, he pushes me out of the way so that I don't get stabbed, because that's like my superhero. Anyway, so he pushes me so I don't get stabbed. And then he's like, nigga, you crazy? What you trying to do? And then he was like, I was just kidding. I wasn't going to stab her. And I was like, what? Looked like it? I don't know what kind of... Okay. And then, so I'm sitting there. And then my best friend, which is my neighbor, sort of, he sits next to the guy that I like. So the guy that I like is sitting on the inside of the seat, and then my friend is sitting on the outside. And so they're just sitting there, and you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna say his name because it's really confusing. So Chase is the one sitting on the outside, and the guy that I like is the one sitting on the inside. And Chase, his book bag is like huge, so he keeps backing up on me, and I'm sitting with Mikey and Natalie. So it's like 3 of us, and I'm at the very end so that I don't like squish them and stuff, because you know I got... Yeah, so then I sit on the edge so I don't squish them or anything. And then Chase, he's like this with his book bag, and I'm like, I pushed him. I was like, if you don't stop, oh my god, stop, Chase. And then he keeps doing it. So I pushed him again, and then he started humping me with his butt. Like, he started shaking his butt, and I'm like this, so it's like this. And I'm like, can you stop humping my boob? Because it's really awkward. It's weird. And then he sits down, and the guy that I like, he reaches over Chase. He reaches over Chase. If any of you can fill in what happens after that, you are very smart. But for the people that don't understand what's gonna happen here, I'm just gonna keep telling the story. Okay, so he reaches over Chase, and then he starts touching my butt, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. Should I just sit here and be like, oh yes, you can go ahead and do that, or should I be like, you know what, nigga, get your hands off me? I don't know. So I just sit there, and then like 5 seconds later, I take his hand, and I'm like, there you go, you take your hand back. Take your hand back. And then he does that like 6 times. And when I got off that bus, I was like, oh my God, Jesus, thank you for this beautiful day and all the beautiful people, because, you know, woo! Thank you, Jesus. I get in the house, and my sister comes home like 5 seconds later, and I tell her what happened, and after thinking about it, I was like, oh my God, I could feel his dick. Like, oh my God. I was like, whoa, I could have just like hurt him so much. But that would have been his own fault, because yeah. Oh, I thought my mom was home. Okay, no, she isn't. Anyways, and sorry, that was weird. And then, yeah, so then my cousin Trey, he's like, oh. So, and then it was just weird. I don't even know. And then there's a creeper outside. I don't know. My dog is like barking, sort of. And then sorry, I kind of needed some chapstick. Anyways, and the day after that, which is Thursday, I get on the bus after school, and then like it's just normal, and then he starts singing, well, rapping to me. I'm so sorry. The sun is like, okay, so he starts like rapping to me, and then what happened after that? I forgot what happened. Oh yeah, he was like rapping to me, and I was like, wow, that's great. And then he does this. He's like this, and you know when people dance, they're like this. And he's going like this, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I do this, and I'm like, pew pew pew, and then the girl he was sitting next to, she was like, and I'm like, shut up. Like, why are you sitting there laughing? And then I was like, yeah, now what? I used all my fingers, now what? So, yeah, and then I get off the bus because it's my bus stop, whatever. And then sorry, I'm watching the show and it's really awkward. Okay, so then on Friday, which was 2 days ago, because I'm happy. I've been happy ever since Wednesday. Anyways, so on Friday, I get on the bus at the end of the day, and did he even sit next to me? Wait, that was my dream. I don't even know what happened. Oh, I sit next to my friend Rose, and then he sits next to me on this side because I'm sitting two to a seat, and then he sits next to me. And then he starts rubbing my leg. Like this. God, I can't. Okay, this is gonna be really weird. Like, this part right here. Yeah, he starts rubbing my leg like that, but it's like this. And I was like, what are you doing? And then I don't do anything. I just sit there and I'm like, whatever. Because him and my friend, they ganged up on me one time, and I swear to God, they were gonna rape me. If it wasn't for other people being on the bus, they would have raped me for some Rice Krispie treats. Anyways, so yeah, he did that, and then I got off the bus, and I was like, okay, that was really awkward. And then my cousin Trey, he's like, oh, sorry, Sydney. If he would have raped you, I wouldn't be able to save you. And I was like, who said? I was like, who said I wanted you to save me in the first place? Exactly. But before y'all call me a slut or anything, one, I'm still a virgin. Two, I'm not gonna just go up to somebody and be like, oh my God, will you have sex with me? Because I'm just really I don't know. I just feel like it. I don't do that. But yeah, so I'm not a slut. I mean, like, I wouldn't. Okay, I would call myself a slut, but I know how to control it. Oh my God, what? How many people are gonna say something rude about this right now? Okay, let me just put it this way: I am not a slut because I know how to control myself when it comes to guys. Let's just put it that way. Unlike some other people. Anyways, so then I had a dream. So let me just read what happened because I sent it to like 6 people. So this is what I said. It was the end of the day and I was getting on the bus, as always. And he was already on the bus. I was going to walk past him to sit with Natalie, but he grabbed me and made me sit with him. So he was on the outside of the seat and I was on the inside. And then he put his hand on my face, so I put my head on his shoulder. And as y'all probably can tell, I was smiling a lot. And then he was staring at me when I looked up at him. And then we just like stared at each other like that for a while. And then he grabbed my hand and we were holding hands. And then we were about to kiss. The stupid bus stopped in front of my freaking aunt's house. And I'm like, really? Did this really just happen? So everybody looked up at the front, including me and him. And you know what? It just screwed up the whole entire thing. But whatever. You know what? What freaking ever. Because tomorrow is Monday and I'm getting my man. I'm just kidding. I ain't getting nobody. No. But I'm just gonna talk to him a lot. Like I do every day. That's what happens on my bus. Everybody's really awkward and like, if they aren't awkward, then they're loud. If they aren't loud, then they're loud and sexual. If they aren't like weird and creepy, yeah. It's just the black people on my bus. All the black people on my bus are like sexually awkward. So weird. They always want to touch you and stuff. It's really awkward. They always want to touch me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm the only black freaking girl back there. Because everybody else is freaking white. Which I love white people. But why am I the only black person back there? I don't know. But I always get touched. In the most awkwardly sexual ways ever. But whatever. You know what? Unless it gets very sexual, then I'm just gonna be like, ew, can you get your hands off me? But like, ew, just thinking about that is so awkward. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video now. And yeah. So, yeah. I have no life.